What's up? This is Brittany from She Abundantly at sheabundantly.com. And if I could say something to parents with teens, when I see these teenage relationships, I've had a few teenage relationships, and I'm in a position now to where I get to dissect them and see them from afar. And everything that I've learned, everything that God has really showed me, I see it play out. And this is one of the reasons why I wrote this book called The Girlfriend Trap, because we are setting our children up for failure. We have not taken the time to sit our children down or to teach them, disciple them when it comes to relationships, when it comes to sex. And I get it. A lot of us don't have that wisdom to pass down. We've done the same things. And so it's like, well, what do I teach my children? But here's the thing. It's not that the wisdom is not there. It's just that we haven't taken the time to get the wisdom for ourselves, to get the wisdom to pass down to our children. Because if we don't, they're going to repeat the same cycles. They're going to repeat the same mistakes. And just because they are a Christian or they know Jesus and they have the Holy Spirit does not mean that they have wisdom when it comes to relationships and dating. And so if I could share this simple relational dynamic with you, I honestly believe it will either start the pathway of teaching and conversation, or at least help in some kind of way. Let me just share it here. The woman is the weaker vessel. The Bible says that the woman is the weaker vessel. That means not only are we designed a little bit different than men, but we are designed to submit to guys. We're designed to submit to a man because God created order when it comes to a family. The man is the husband, the woman is the wife, and then you have the children. The man is the leader. He is the one to lead the family, to be the first in line to carry the weight of the family. The woman then submits to his leadership, his voice. And then the children, of course, submit to the mother as she submits to the father. Yada yada. So it's all, working up that line of power and authority, right? So remember that the guy and the girl, the man and the woman, the husband and the wife, when it talks about women being the weaker vessel, we are designed by God to look up to the man, to listen to his voice. You understand what I'm saying? To listen to his voice and to follow his leadership. It's in our design. So when I see these young women in these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, these relational dynamics, I'm not shocked when they end up having sex. I'm not shocked when now there's a beautiful baby on the way. I'm not shocked when she starts to lose herself, because by nature, she's designed to follow his lead. If that young man does not understand his power as a man and how weighty or how authoritative he is as a man, and how wherever he leads her, she will follow. If he's not mature in that, he's going to lead her astray. He's going to lead her to his desires, his fleshly desires, his selfish desires, because he's not mature yet. A man needs to learn how to be a man, just like a woman needs to learn how to be a woman. A young man needs to learn how to be a man. Young woman needs to learn how to be a woman. And so when I see these teen relationships, boys and girls, right? They don't even know what they're stepping into, because they don't even know how they're wired. So by nature, she's going to want to be led by him. She's going to follow his voice. She's going to yield herself, lean into him. In these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, there's no boundaries. So once they get into this relationship, he say she's hers, she say he's mine, and there's no boundaries. There's no distinction. They don't know how their bodies are wired. They don't know how powerful that touching is. They don't understand what they're doing. And then the generational curse, the cycle continues, the single parenthood, the broken homes. And if I could speak to the fathers really quickly, if you can understand that dynamic, you can save your daughters. You can really not only just save, but safeguard them. Because the young woman is going to listen to a man's voice, whether it be yours or his. When a father is in place, when he is speaking to her, guarding her, helping her to guard her heart, because at this young age and stage, she doesn't know yet. She's immature. She doesn't know the importance of guarding her heart. If she doesn't know, Father, you need to step in. You need to make sure that your voice is the reigning voice. Give her guidance and understanding and explain her wiring to her, that she's going to lead or be led by a man's voice. She's going to want to give herself to the man who's speaking to her all the time. A boyfriend is nothing but what this relational dynamic is a grab at somebody who he did not work for. It's a way in to get into a young woman's mind, in her heart, bypass the authority in her life, which is her father or God, and to get what he wants quicker. A husband works. A husband sacrifices. A husband literally lays down his life to get this woman, to bring her into his life so that she can lay her life down and bear his children and all that. Really get the beauty, the favor out of her. It takes work. It takes accountability. It takes commitment. It takes money. It takes responsibility. What a boyfriend does is he bypasses all of that hard work, responsibility, accountability, sacrifice, and gets to the girl, your daughter, much quicker, much faster, gets what he wants. And he has no responsibility to her, no accountability. He has no fidelity, no love, because he was never taught that. He was never held accountable. Nobody said, hey, you can't have this young lady until you commit to her. So it's a cheap grab at a young woman's heart, without the boundaries, without the responsibility, without the love, without God. You understand what I'm saying? If young men and women understood that dynamic better, they would be better off when it comes to love, sex, and relationships. Because when we're teaching them to get into these relational dynamics, which is a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend with no boundaries, we're setting them up for a generational curse and a repetitive cycle that probably won't end. If it's not this guy, it's going to be the next guy. Eventually, she's going to have sex. She's going to give herself, follow the voice of that guy. And most of these guys, because they're not disciplined, they're not mature, they're not being raised in how to be a man, they're not being raised to be led by God, they're going to lead her to themselves. They're going to lead her to the bedroom or the back seat or wherever. It's a natural design. You understand what I'm saying? Because God made the woman for the man and the man for the woman. But he made it within the boundaries of commitment. He made it so that they can fully give themselves in peace, in commitment, and in joy. So we are putting these boys and girls together in these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships without structure, without boundaries, and we're wondering why they ended up the way that they ended up. If a girl talks to a guy long enough, she's going to, when they say fall in love, she's going to want to give herself to him. She's going to want to follow his voice. So this year, make it up in your mind that you're going to teach your child, your teenager, something different. You're going to teach them how to date. You're going to teach them their wiring. If you don't know, make it up in your mind to seek out the wisdom. There's so many books. There's so many people out there, one of them being Jackie Bruton. Go to www.jackiebruton.com, where she has content geared toward the parents, the boys and the girls, on love, sex, relationships. You have people like me who specialize in things like this. I wrote a book. This is mentorship in a book. This is for parents to read with your children, your teenagers, to help them understand who they are and how to have boundaries and to set them up for commitment. Bypass the whole boyfriend-girlfriend stage. The reason why people don't is because they don't even know that they have options. They don't even know that they can bypass that relational dynamic that was never created for them to be in from the get-go. That does not yield successful relationships, that yields the baby mama culture, that yields brokenheartedness, that yields homosexuality because I'm tired of men or I'm tired of women and they do me wrong, and because you don't really know how to have relationships. So you go to the other gender. It's a ploy from the devil. It is strategic on the devil's end to destroy your babies, your teenagers from the inside out, because they don't have knowledge. So this year, go to Amazon. You can go to sheabundantly.com or go to Amazon and get this book called The Girlfriend Trap. And this is specifically for teen girls, but let me tell you, boys, young boys can learn so much from this. Because in order for her not to be a girlfriend, not to submit to a guy who has no fidelity, no commitment to her, the young man needs to know the same. The young man needs to understand who he is and why he shouldn't usher a young woman into a relationship with no boundaries. I had a young woman, we did an interview together, and she said this, and it stuck with me, and it's going to continue to stick with me. Since when did we make boyfriends and girlfriends a prerequisite for commitment, for marriage? Like, why is that a thing when it's not even in the Bible? Why is that a thing when God never orchestrated or designed that kind of dynamic? Have you ever thought about that? You ever wonder why so much brokenheartedness goes down? It's because they're in these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. I'm saying the bare minimum here, but I'm telling you, for this new year, change your lineage, change the directory, the pathway that your child is going down, that your teen is going down. Help them learn who they are. Help them learn how to date. Help them learn how to have a healthy outlook on love, sex, and relationships. Help them, teach them to prepare for commitment, to not play house, but to really build a home. But they need to know who they are. They need to know how they're wired. They need to know about this relational dynamic. So, yet again, the girlfriend trap. Debate what the trap creates in your way of escape. You need to buy this right now. Go to Amazon and buy this for your teen, for your sister's teen, for the girl group that you know about from around the way. And don't just give them the book, because they're going to need somebody to help them understand. Until I can get my program up, they need somebody. They need parents to help them understand this content, to lead them in the right direction. Because I can tell a teen girl all day long about who she is, but if her mom and daddy allow this, if her mommy and daddy say, oh, go ahead and go sleep over such and such house, go ahead, let your boyfriend sleep over, go ahead, and yeah, you can let a guy have you with no commitment. You can let a guy feel like he owns you, because when you feel like you own something, you immediately put your hands all over it. I just saw a boyfriend today touching his girlfriend. These are teenagers, touching her in intimate ways that only a husband should, touching her in her intimate spaces of her body. Why is that allowed? Why is that? Because in this boyfriend-girlfriend relational dynamic, it's a false sense of ownership. If you are mine and I am yours, therefore I can do whatever I want to do with you. It teaches the brain to not respect. It teaches the brain to not have a hands-off approach, because if you're mine, I can do what I want to do with you. And then as parents, we're kind of shocked when they start doing eventually what their bodies is telling them to do, because they've been touching each other for 3, 4, 5 months now. And now the next step in touching and feeling and all the dopamine and oxytocin and all these hormones flowing through their body is to go all the way. Y'all be encouraged. We're gonna do this year right. We're gonna do it better, wiser. Because if not for you, then for your grandbabies, who's gonna be birthed into this world either in a broken home or not, either with parents who are ignorant because they were never taught. If not for you, do it for your grandbabies. Change your lineage. Until next time, peace.